Hello, everyone. I'm presenting Calvin Risk today. I'm principal data scientist, and we have developed an AI risk management software solution. As you all know, AI is here to change the world, but it also comes with certain risks, and these are the ones we're trying to capture through our solution. So it involves comprehensive analysis and metrics, essentially. There's already been different cases where AI systems are responsible for fiscal and ethical risk. For example, the Apple Card was accused by gender bias, for example, which falls under the fairness component of our platform. But you also have identity theft or access to privacy information, like the Lloyds Bank solution here. AI becomes more of a priority than it was in the past. And in the past years, the focus was more on AI development and also deployment of these systems. Now that all of these systems are deployed and live, AI risk really becomes a priority and will just increase over the next years. So what we've done at Calvin Risk, we've created a unique approach to measure and capture these risks and quantify them at the end of the day. We follow the essential guidelines also that are provided by standardization agencies like NIST, for example, or ISO, and then put that into a software solution so that it's interpretable by different stakeholders. So stakeholder alignment is key for us. So we have the different functions, as you can see here on the slides. One is to establish a robust AI governance framework. Then we have risk assessments, analysis, reporting, and that leads to mitigation strategies. One example is the one I also mentioned earlier. This falls under the adversarial attacks, where, for example, someone, a journalist, tried to get into a Lloyds bank account through voice spoofing. So with our platform, you can actually test your system whether it's robust enough to prevent these attacks. So our unique way is composed by three main types of risks. You have technological risk, ethical risk, and regulatory risk. And those then are divided into different indicators, which all have values between 0 and 1. So that makes different models also quite comparable. You have performance, robustness, fairness, explainability, and then on the more regulatory side, accountability and safety. And our platform then kind of guides you through the process of identifying, then quantifying, which is our core model, prioritizing the different models and use cases, because our model also has a use case inventory, and then essentially getting to the mitigation strategies quite fastly. Some example techniques that we have deployed on our platform or that we ensure also followed is, for example, the model auditing framework. So there are regular audits that can be performed on our platform. The regularity here depends on the model use case again. We also have uncertainty quantification as another method or example, and adversarial testing. Uncertainty quantification, I'll go through this fairly quickly. So you can identify these uncertainties because they stem from various sources, and we cover these sources on our platform and identify those through metrics. That really, again, depends on the model and the use case. So with our platform, you essentially onboard your model and then kind of automatically are able to detect those and put those into an indicator, which allows you to interpret that easier. Which at the end of the day allows you to make risk-based decisions. Then I also want to point out that it's not just about the AI systems or AI models. Actually, part of an AI system is the data that the model was trained on and that the model also uses for the predictions. And data comes with various biases. So we incorporate that into our analysis. I've mentioned or I've outlined some of these biases here, like data gathering bias, analysis, and application. And it's important to ensure that, for example, unfairness doesn't already happen at the beginning of the modeling process. Fairness, it's a common used term nowadays, so the same as responsible AI and AI safety. What does that actually mean is quite difficult to define. From a technical perspective, it's either translated into metrics or into some indicators, but here it's pretty key to actually incorporate the human into the decision-making process and the ethics department to define what's to be measured and what the thresholds also are. Robustness and generalization is something that I mentioned earlier too. We want to help our users to develop AI systems which are de-risked by design, essentially. So that happens before you actually deploy the model. Monitoring is also needed later, but it's essential to prevent the risk from happening in the first place. This is an example. I'll skip this. This is something I just mentioned. And the carbon risk platform has different components. Some of them are more on the interpretability side, which is the risk dashboard, for example, that gives you an executive overview of your entire risk portfolio. Then we have our inventories and assessments, but we also do root cause analysis because we deploy network theory that allows you to track back the origin of the risk. In general about Calvin, we're a B2B platform. The team is also from ETH Zurich mostly, and we're currently focusing on the banking and insurance industry. Our core values are our core value proposition is to increase return on investment and efficiency of AI initiatives at different companies, reduce model failure and prevent that from happening, and more than anything also stakeholder alignment. That's all. Open for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Again, perfect time. So Rick will kick us off.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Chris. This is a really important topic, and especially in banking. I lean a bit towards two different questions, but hopefully you can help me.
Yeah.
So in banking, AI adoption is quite slow. There's a lot of data analysis going on, but AI adoption is quite slow. So my first question is, why do you focus on banking? And the second question is, it seems that technology or a platform is a solution, but banks spend, there are thousands of people working on these different risk types. How do you see that in the ecosystem of risk?
Yeah, so we focus on the banking and insurance industry because for them, model risk management is not a new topic. And then also, the environments where they deploy models are also always high risk. So whenever they deploy a model, the business impact is typically higher than at other organizations. And they are currently adopting these new methods because otherwise they would lose business. So it's not an option for them. It's just a matter of time and how they do it. So our approach is to go through the model risk management and model valuation departments and help them to consider AI models for material purposes, so purposes that actually have a real business impact.
All right.
And the second question?
My second question was, you're focusing on technology, right? On a platform to deal with this.
Yes.
But it's a big ecosystem of, as you said, model validators and a lot of people involved in this. How do you see your role within that ecosystem?
Exactly. So that's one of the main challenges. We try to bring these different stakeholders together. Some of them are more from a technical background, and then the other ones come from maybe an ethics department. And for us, the way we bring it together is by elevating it through different levels of abstractions. So first you have sort of like indicator level, which can be easily interpreted, but at the same time, it also allows you to drill down into the origin of that risk, which is then more statistical measures and so on. So that's more than for technical, like a technical team or cohort. So it brings them together from both sides, essentially, yeah.
Thanks. Okay. Chris, thank you very much.
Thank you.